Words about some things we're doing.
Because
All right. Okay, so first off, I want to say to John and to Chuck that you guys bring me to practically to tears. Every time I hear you talk, that is true. Okay? You really are absolutely passionate, patriot Americans, and I love you. And I love all of you also for coming out on a cold October night, okay, to fellowship and basically retain and build our strength because we're going to need it going forward.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So we've got an election coming up in just a couple of days. And I wear two hats right now. Two hats. The first hat I'm going to talk about is that I'm the national spokesman for Veterans for Trump, or for Vets for Trump. Okay?
Wow.
Yes.
Really, I got to tell you, it's been the greatest honor for them to have chosen me to be their spokesman, because to be a spokesman for veterans that supports this president, it's been just a humbling opportunity. So first I want to talk about Trump specifically. And I just want to say that a few days ago, I did a video, and I held in my hand a 37-page document, a list of everything that our president has achieved in 4 years. It was 37 pages long.
Damn
and I'm
right.
just going to hit a couple of the high ones, okay? The most important ones, okay? Because they're all so important, okay? And then I'm going to tell you how he did it and why he did it. Number one thing is probably that all of us and all of our children will benefit from going forward is the fact that he restored pride in America again.
Amen.
He made us believe in ourselves again as a country. Because I think we were kind of down, right?
Kind of.
Yes.
We were down. But then on top of that, he put 3 Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That is going to affect our children and our grandchildren's lives in monumental ways for the next 30 or more years. Okay, that is an incredible God blessing on our country. And to me, that is the evidence of God's hand in this man's life. Because this goes on, presidents come and go, but the Supreme Court stays. So what he's been able to achieve, not just with the Supreme Court, with all the federal courts, is going to have a profound impact on our country going forward. But that doesn't mean we're done, right? He's also fired 8,000 underperforming employees of the Veterans Administration, an organization that no party has been able to take on for 30 years.
And they're incredible now.
Okay? The stock market, and I'm not one of those people that believes the stock market is meaningless or that the stock market is all important. But it's a really great indicator of how much confidence there is in the American economy. Okay? And he took it from 19,000 to 29,000. Then it went back to 19,000 because of the China virus, and now it's back up to 28,000.
Yeah.
He did it twice in 4 years. Woo! Okay, and I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that the stock market, as an indicator of how strong the U.S. economy is, if he wins on November 3rd, which I absolutely believe he will, the stock market will probably skyrocket to over 30,000.
Yeah.
Because what the stock market is an indicator of is people's faith in our loyalty to the world economy, our strength to make everyone better. Democracy, U.S. democracy, the U.S. as a country has done more to lift people out of poverty across the globe than any other single thing in human history. Okay, that's why it's important. And Donald Trump basically restored it from being languishing and restored it. Okay, twice. And in the face of a coup and false impeachment and a global pandemic. That is also evidence of God's hand in this man's prosperity for the world because it's affecting the world. We are the light of not only liberty, but of prosperity and peace in the world. He achieved something in the Middle East that we have just dreamed about. He's gotten Arab countries to come to Israel and make peace with their enemy. Nobody else could do that except Donald Trump. And that too is evidence of God's hand in this man's.
Preach it.
Okay? That is evidence.
Yes.
And they dismiss all of it. They act like it's not happening right before their very eyes. They will not even recognize that they tried to give this man 3 Nobel Peace Prizes.
Four.
Is it 4 now?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't.
But literally, they have come out, the world has come out and said this man deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. And our Democrat Party
Won't even look.
and these socialists,
Terrorist.
they pretend like they don't even hear it.
Yeah.
Okay? So listen, I'm a veteran. I have friends and family that serve in uniformed law enforcement from here all the way to California. Personal friends and personal family members. And the enemy wants to destroy us.
Yeah.
During my campaign, and if you didn't know, I ran for U.S. Senate. I was beat by the establishment, not by Daniel Gate. I was beat by the establishment. Okay, I was beat by the rhinos. And what's the moniker that I've given myself? I'm the rhino hunter. I was actually introduced as the rhino hunter a few nights ago at the Prince William County Board of
That
Supervisors.
works. That works.
Or I'm sorry, Prince William County GOP meeting. They introduced me as the rhino hunter. I'm happy about that because I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a rhino hunt on November 4th
Damn right.
Amen.
because they're going to lose. Because if they're not with Donald Trump, they're not with God, and they are going to lose.
Yes.
Yes.
That is what's going to happen. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I warned them all. I told them all. You cannot win without Donald Trump today. You can't do it. Because God's hand is on Donald Trump.
Yep.
You need to be listening. He
Damn
won.
right.
He won for 3 reasons. He had universal name recognition. He said, I want to make America great again, which resonated with everybody.
Yes.
And then he had his own money. He didn't have to ask permission to run. He didn't have to ask permission to make America great again.
Yep.
So, Donald Trump's going to win on November 3rd.
Yeah.
Yay.
He's
Yeah.
going to win.
Damn right.
When he does, their heads are going to explode.
Yep.
Okay? Their heads are going to
That's
explode.
what God's done.
All right? But I want to move on to the second hat that I wear. The second hat evolved over during my campaign. I started seeing all of the kind of the structural problems with the Republican Party and its relationship with the people. You. How many people here are in their Republican committee on a regular monthly basis? Don't be ashamed to not raise your hand, okay? Be honest. I need to know how many are actually active members of the Republican Party. Please raise your hand.
I just joined last month.
That doesn't count. Okay, so I literally out of about 60 people, I'm seeing 4 hands go up. The reason is this. The reason for this is that the Republican Party doesn't do anything for
They
us.
suck.
They only serve themselves. They do not serve us.
That is right.
It's not their fault. It's the way that the parties have evolved over time. They used to serve us. They don't really, the bylaws, the way our society runs, so it's not really their fault. We can't really hold them wholly accountable. Things have
wholly
changed. Society has
accountable.
changed. Social media, transportation, whatever. But what I realized was this. There were coalitions all over Virginia that had no connection to the Republican Party, but they were Republicans and they were conservatives. The 2A movement doesn't vote. You know why? Because they don't know when the primary is. Because the Republican Party likes to keep it out of people's kind of normal view so that they can control who wins the primary.
Yes.
Okay?
Convention.
They don't want the pro-life people running the Republican Party. Why? Because, well, they're too extreme. Or the 2A. Or the whatever. They don't want them running the party. Because that's how they hold on to their power. So, the second hat that I'm wearing is we started, Debbie and Chris and Mike Fouché and several others, we have started an organization called Chasing Freedom Virginia. And it's not a Republican thing. It's not a Democrat thing. It's a conservative thing.
It's an American thing.
It's an American thing. I'm going to read. Now, how many people have heard the Republican Creed? Raise your hand if you've heard the Republican Creed. Again, about 5 people. So that means most people are so disconnected from the Republican Party, they don't even know there's a creed. Okay? I'm going to read for you the creed, what we believe as Chasing Freedom Virginia. And it's not very long, I promise. And then once you hear this, the important part of this is as I read this, I want you to think back to what John said and what Chuck said about the things they want to do, the reasons they're doing it. Okay? Chasing Freedom Virginia is an organization that is going to elevate people that follow our values. Okay? We, the people, as citizens of the United States, believe that the Constitution is the law of the land. Our individual rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, as enshrined in the Bill of Rights, serve to limit the government as intended by the founders. Religious liberty is the cornerstone of our Constitution and must be protected as an inalienable human right. The Second Amendment serves to protect the people, capitalized, against domestic and foreign oppression and must be protected as an inalienable human right. All citizens, in order to realize their fullest potential, are entitled to equal rights, equal justice, and equal opportunity, not equal outcomes. The family is the most essential and most empowering organization in our shared human existence. All life is precious and must be protected. The free enterprise system is the most productive supplier of human needs and economic justice. Fiscal responsibility and budgetary restraint must be exercised by all levels of government. Peace is best preserved through a strong national defense. All those things I've read before are in very much regard, are part of the Republican Creed. We added 2 things that are very important. Government transparency is essential to maintaining trust and faith with the people. And finally, our history, and Chuck hit on this very poignantly, our history and the associated memoria serve as guideposts in our journey as a nation, to serve as reminders of our shared sacrifices and warnings to future generations.
Wow.
If we write a creed or we say an oath, as I teach my Cub Scouts, it has to mean something. We say the Pledge of Allegiance, but how many people have sworn an oath to protect and serve? Uniformed military, law enforcement, politicians say it, but half the time they're politically motivated and they don't actually have to serve and protect it. Okay? So, what Chasing Freedom is about is building this into a movement across Virginia. 16 coalitions: life, education, healthcare, justice reform, the family, faith, veterans, national security, business and the economy. Because we all have our thing that we care about. And we only have so much bandwidth. We can't do everything. But together, because I believe right now, pretty much everybody here is pro-life. But how many of you are getting the email on when the pro-life march is? Not all of you. Or the 2A march. Or the medical freedom march. We want to make it so that when the call goes out, it's not a few hundred people that show up. It's thousands of conservatives that show up and share and support each other, because if we don't do it, that is how they're going to defeat us, by keeping us divided and separated. That's what they want. During my campaign, I said they want to do 3 things. and we're right now living with it. The first thing they want to do is they want to get rid of the Electoral College. If they can get rid of the Electoral College, it's over.
The country's gone.
The country is gone. The next thing they want to do is they want to seize all the guns. Because if they take the guns,
We have no
all
freedom.
the other rights can be erased.
No freedom.
Okay? And then the third thing they want to do is they want to tamp down on what they call hate speech, which is basically speech that they don't like.
Yep.
So, what I'm trying to say to you is this. Yes, we're all probably Republicans here. Okay? But not all of us are active as Republicans. We might be active in this coalition to that coalition. So if you join Chasing Freedom Virginia, you will be joining a coalition of conservatives that are going to mobilize to help get conservative candidates elected again in Virginia. The Republican Party cannot do it. They have lost faith and confidence with the people. So we got to do something else. We need to decide who our candidates are. So Chasing Freedom Virginia is going to vet, and then we're going to endorse, and then we're going to support candidates. We can do that because we're not a party. The Republican Party of Virginia cannot do that. Now listen to what I just said. Vet, endorse, and support candidates. The Republican Party of Virginia cannot do that. It is against the rules for the Republican Party to vet and endorse candidates leading up to a primary. It's all up to the candidate to vet themselves, endorse themselves, and then tell you who they are. Right? We're going to vet them. We're going to decide who is the candidate, the most conservative. And we're going to do it publicly. We're going to show what our results are, why we vetted a candidate a certain way. Then we're going to put it out, let you guys decide, as members of Chasing Freedom Virginia, who the person is that's going to get our endorsement. And imagine if we had all these coalitions vetting these candidates. Now, I think Chuck and I think John are fine Americans. And I know they're going to do very well probably in our vetting. I believe that. But there's going to be a whole bunch of people running against them, and you don't have time to go meet with all of them. But we're going to help you do that. And we also want you to sit on a vetting board and participate in the process and vet the candidates. As members, you will be able to do that. To actually sit down and conduct an interview with the candidate and ask them how they really feel. What have they really done? And then we're going to publish it, and we're going to let the Virginia voters decide. So, I don't know how long that was. Way too long. My point to you, thank you. My point is this. This is a new thing. This is solving the problem we have with not knowing what we get because of these rhinos. Remember I started with being the rhino hunter? Really, it's an establishment problem. Chuck hit on it. John hit on it. It's because these political elites decide who your candidate's going to be. Because the guy they pick is the guy that will bend knee to the Republican Party. That's who they pick. They do not pick the one that serves you. They pick the one that serves the party. And Chasing Freedom Virginia is going to challenge that. So, that is all I have to say. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here. Okay?
Good job, Tom.
God bless and bonfire time.